Associate producer for the North American service for Dungeon Fighter Online.
And I'm Joe Lee. I'm the director of DFO, which is the North American version for DNF.
Okay, so with the Dungeon Fighter Online, what made you guys decide that you wanted to do more like a kind of like a beat 'em up RPG, like a MMO hybrid type game?
Well, Dungeon Fighter Online originally on DNF back in Korea was originally launched back in 2005, and at the time, this kind of an action MMO hybrid kind of a game didn't really exist. So we just kind of wanted to come up with a unique game that we would also love, not just for the fans. And that's how we came up with an action plus MMORPG kind of thing.
Okay. So how has it been received over in the Asian markets?
Well, actually, we're doing more than great. Like in Asia right now, we're kind of like the top superstar in the MMO online industry right now. We already had a record of more than
200 million registered users.
And the peak concurrent user was.
The peak was they got a record of 2.2 million concurrent users playing at the same time.
Wow! So
which is actually bigger than any other online games.
So you're willing to say bigger than WoW, World of Warcraft? Okay. And I know it had just launched here, and it was it a week ago?
Last week.
Last week. And how's that been received so far?
Well, we actually went through a long-term open beta phase, which actually helped us do a lot of things. I'm talking about optimizing the technical kind of issues and that kind of stuff, and we came up with the right kind of product, and we put it out to the market, and we're actually receiving pretty nice kind of welcome from the audience.
Have you heard anything much from critics or anything like that? Have they?
Well, I guess started from like yesterday or like the day after.
Yesterday. I mean, reviews have been fantastic for the game. They were already saying good things about it in beta, but a lot of people had experienced the game in the Asian services.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what the reviews primarily focused on was the fact that this is one of the first, if not one of the only, 2D scrolling RPG MMOs on the market right now that's extremely action-based.
Also wanted to try to ask and touch on when you said like the controller support for the game itself. A lot of people, they're more comfortable with keyboard and mouse. What makes this like so much better with a controller? Because I have been told by someone out there when I did try out the game, and I really enjoyed it. But what makes you guys feel like that it's better definitely with a controller?
Well, I don't think we necessarily think it's better or worse with a controller or a keyboard. I think it's a personality thing, how you're used to playing games.
Yeah. Well, Korea was the first market that we launched the game at, and I guess it's kind of up to what kind of player you're facing. I mean, in Japan, everybody's just so used to the gamepad and that kind of stuff. So in Japan, everybody's more familiar to that kind of stuff. Maybe it's pretty much similar here too. So,
yeah, especially since it's more like an arcade brawler and the stuff kind of like Final Fight and games like that.
Right.
Yeah, and also like what other is there any future plans for like additional content for the game? Like I know that it's microtransaction based, but what about gameplay content?
Gameplay content?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have a whole lineup of brand new content. In fact, actually, he mentioned we were in beta for 8 months. In that 8 months, we added content, and then for our launch on June 9th, we expanded it even further.
Okay.
Yeah, and we actually have a long way to go to catch up with the original service back in Korea. Not just in Korea, but also in Japan for the Japanese service and Chinese service as well. And since this game had actually a long term of our fans kind of waiting for the game, so their stress is kind of, not over the limit yet, but they've been waiting for this game for a long time. So we kind of have to speed up a little bit of the pace of updating all these new content. So yeah, we're gonna have all these exciting things coming up within this year and maybe over for a long time.
Yeah, totally. A lot of things that people have been asking about in terms of content that they know in Korea, we already have plans to release it before the end of the year. So there's a lot of content that our fans can really look forward to.
Okay. Now, as far as like anything, like as far as like chatting, like is it just with keyboard? Can people do voice chat or anything like that yet?
Voice chat is already in Korea. We're probably going to bring it over here as well if people need it.
Okay. And anything else that you would like to say about the game? Anything that you would like to say? Like, actually, what about like the free-to-play model? Like, I've noticed that like lately, like just recently, like Lord of the Rings Online and other companies like that have started doing the free-to-play model. I know you guys have been doing that for a long time now. Do you kind of feel like that you've kind of spurred that whole microtransaction business, or?
Well, free-to-play model is actually it's pretty common in Korea and China and that kind of Asian markets right now. And I think the beauty of that model is to, actually the lower entry barrier for those who want to play the game. And even if you don't have much money to buy the whole package or the whole monthly subscription, you can still get to play and have a chance to taste what kind of game it is like. So, yeah.
Yeah, and in the United States, I mean, one thing about the games is that we're not asking users to pay to unlock content or to pay to get like a super weapon or anything like that. The microtransaction model is specifically designed that everything in the game, you can get the weapons, you can get the gear, you can go through all the content without paying anything. You pay for cosmetics and you pay for convenience things. And I think Dungeon Fighter Online is no different.
And the thing is, even if you don't have any kind of money, and even if you don't pay any other money, you can still get access to those payable purchasable items.
Right, you just have to work your rear off for it.
You have to put in the time. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think like we like to say that for all free online games, that you're putting in the time or you're putting in the money, right? We'll let you play the game totally, put in the time, or you put in some money and you can save time and enhance your game experience through other ways.
And the majority of the players actually are not paying any money at all. Over 70, 80, 90% most of the time.
Yep.
So, and they're all our audience, so we're always strongly focused.
But it has been proving profitable overall quite profitable.
Yeah, I think if you really take down the barriers and people are able to play your game without having any sort of sacrifice, then I think they're more likely to stay with you. They're more likely to play your games, and they're more likely to get into it.